Have you ever been the new kid? Or felt like an outsider? Remember how vulnerable and alone it felt? Imagine if someone reached out to you and treated you like you belonged. How would it have changed your day? Sometimes people skip out on the opportunity to meet new people because they don't want to be given a negative label or be shut down. Rejection hurts, and we tend to avoid feeling that kind of pain. But what if we took the risk and learned to reach out and accept one another? Really, what do you have to lose? Even though someone might be considered weird or different in the eyes of the student body, don't be afraid to reach out and accept them for the unique individuals they are. Like you, they have something special to offer the world.
I came from a different city and a different school. I came to Granite Bay my sophomore year, and I was living in a more non-accepting, non-comfortable or uncomfortable situation at my old high school, and it was definitely just a very unsafe environment for a person who's trying to become more of who they really are. And I say that because I don't think that the words coming out really mean anything other than letting the people who have judged you all along be correct. And I don't think that it makes it any easier of a situation for a person who is just developing who they are and becoming what they've always been and just gaining the confidence to say who they are. So as I started at Granite Bay, I obviously didn't know anyone, so I came to the band program, and it's an instantaneous amount of friends that you just create and have. And when you open up to your friends, you realize that it's not a big deal, and the it is being who you are. And it's not a big deal to just say who you like, what you're about, what your interests are. It's not easy coming into a new environment and thinking that everyone's going to judge you because you have no idea what you're expected of. And what I found was, as I looked to new people, I went out to my teachers, I started knowing more and more people. I became more and more comfortable with my personal situation and the high school environment of itself. I feel like we're really lucky at Granite Bay with how safe we are and how protected we feel and how accepting we are, but there's still things that go on. A lot of my experiences were more negative in my old town. I was in middle school, like 7th grade, and I had this group of friends from elementary school who I always stuck with, and there was about 4 of us, and you know, we would hang out every day. We'd walk by the old high school, we'd go to the park, hang out, do our thing, but one day we were walking home, and the sidewalk, you know, it's only big enough for so many people in a line, so there would be 3 of them in front of me, and then I'd be walking behind. And I had this big backpack because we didn't have lockers, filled with like 5 or 6 textbooks because I was a total nerd in middle school. And so they kind of were just getting more and more separate from me. And so I thought, well, this is kind of shady, so I'm going to pass them and walk in front of them and try and stick with them, because I'm not just going to let myself be separated from my friends if I can do something about it. So I walked in front of them. We're just starting to get past the high school, and they start slowly going away from me, and I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? And there's a corner that we turned, and they didn't turn it with me, and so I'm like standing there like waiting for them to come around the corner, and they just start running towards me, and I'm like, well, maybe someone's behind them, and I'm not expecting anything. But then they tackled me onto the ground, and they took all my stuff, and they started beating me on the ground, calling me a faggot and homo, and can't believe you thought that you were one of us, and all this stuff. And they were just going on, and they just left me there. And I just looked up, and they were all running away, and they had my stuff in their hands. I went on a search for where my backpack was, and along the side of the streets are those green covers with like vents on them, and I saw that one was kind of moved, so I opened it, and it had just rained the day before, so it was filled with water, and all my stuff was in it. It was dumped in it. They had a lot of things that I found at the park written on the side of the swings about me, and it was just disheartening finding out that it was like fake friendships for multiple years, and that's how it ended. But there was one person who came back and said sorry, but I found out later that day from my dad that they had kept running to my house, and they had taken the trash cans that were out in the street, and they put it by my front door, and they lit it on fire, trying to burn my house down. And so it was a very unsettling situation, and I normally wouldn't think about it, so it kind of brings back old emotions. But then I realized that I had grown since then, that I had come to this new high school, this new place, and I had personally sought new people to be around, the right people to be around. I reached out to the people who I learned about, who were positive, who were helpful. I wanted to be the person who I know I always was, but I wasn't allowed to be because my friends told me who I was. And I know that's confusing, but I just wanted to be comfortable, and I am now, and I am happy with what I'm doing. I don't have any regrets of the people who I were with, because it only helped me learn. But I also know now that it is okay to go talk with someone. It is okay to see a counselor. It is okay to go talk with your teachers and just see who your friends really are, and if they're open to lend an ear. But this school needs to remember that there are going to be gay people on your campus. There are going to be people of a different religion and race, and there's not a lot of things you can do about it. There's no one who's going to tell you who you are, and if you can't accept who you are, then you just need more time. But you shouldn't be pressured into becoming someone who you're not. And so I really think that by getting support and asking for help and doing it for yourself is the first step you have to take in reaching out towards someone.
So today is a day of reaching out. Give a smile, pay a compliment, offer a helping hand. Regardless of whether you are giving or receiving the kindness, remember that we are all in the same position and just want a place where we feel like we belong. Sometimes making the effort to accept someone can be difficult. When you find yourself struggling, put yourself in their shoes. Imagine what things are like from their perspective. Wouldn't you like others to put themselves in your shoes before making assumptions about you? Today, I challenge you to be the best you can be and reach out to as many people as you can. Even the smallest gesture can make a world of difference.